Around 2 weeks ago, I went to the aquarium shop to get supplies. Not to buy fish, definitely not to buy fish. Look, we've all been there. I couldn't resist it. Don't judge me. Yes, I bought another fish. Now, this was an impulse buy, but as you can see, I've got so many aquariums running that impulse buying for me is not such a bad thing. At any time, I could put them in something. And the one that I got was this amazing betta fish here. Look at that, it's a Dumbo-eared sort of platinum, I think they're called. It's the whitest of white. Let me turn that up a little bit for you. Oh, he is so amazing. Something about a Dumbo-eared betta fish, isn't there? I've got so many floating plants here, it's hard to focus on him. Anyway, we're making you a new tank. So I'm going to be using this tank here. Now, this did have a German blue ram in it, which I moved across recently into another tank, so it's clear. Now, this isn't like a requirement for betta fish. They don't have to have tanks this big. What's this, 12 gallons, I think. The thing is, I feel like this tank isn't quite big enough for like schooling fish or anything like that. It's good for betta fish and a pistogramma, that's what I think anyway. So yeah, maybe a little bit on the larger side of what's actually required, but it does mean we can put some other fish in there with the betta fish as well. Ones that it's not gonna harass, obviously. Although this one does seem pretty calm, and when I picked it up, it was in a tank with a lot of platies as well. So yeah, it should be all right with some schooling fish if we do it earlier on. Now, we've obviously still got a load of stuff in here. This all needs to come out. I don't need that heater, that's because the German blues need hotter temperature, but my room is heated, so we can go heaterless, just like is happening in that tank, the betta fish in that tank, and the betta fish in that tank, all of which, oh, there he is. What are you doing? You just hovering. And then we've got Hellboy down here, look. Look at him. Look at those colours. Awesome. Completely different kind of betta fish, this one to the new one. But yeah, let's get this tank cleaned up. Right, the tank is super clean, but it's not going to cut it with that clear background. We need to paint it black. I do like a clear background, don't get me wrong, but with this fish and how it's looking in there with the black against it, we definitely need to go black. So I've got some masonry paint. It is smooth masonry paint. It's basically like an acrylic. It dries like a plastic on the back. Easy to scrape off if you want to take it off later on as well. So that's what we're going to use. Right, this is the paint look, see? Just plain black, smooth masonry paint. This is not cheap, but it's cheaper than a load of black sort of plasticky films and things like that, which I don't have anyway. Every time I paint this, everyone says, why don't you just buy the black film? Because I want to do it now and I don't want to wait a day. And to be quite honest, that's probably all I'm going to need. It looks kind of bluish when it's wet, but when it's dried, it's completely jet black. But there you go, see, it's not blue. Make sure when you're loading up the roller, you give it a generous helping. This first layer is going to look naff anyway. It's just important to get a good amount of paint onto the glass. And you can see after one coat it looks a bit funny, but bear with me. So that is one coat on and completely dry. Look, you can see how much you can see through. Probably going to need about 4 more coats and then we'll be ready to go. So that's the tank set up, ready to go. Oh, let me just explain the tank. We've got 45 centimeters by something else. I'll put all the details up here. And then we've got the Superfish Light. This is a kit actually. It normally comes with a filter, but I don't like the filter, so we're not putting that in. It's like a hang on the back one. It's just, I just like a little internal one. So first thing I want to do is get some hardscape in. Sometimes I do a base first of nutrients and that, but this time I want to go hardscape first and then build the nutrients and everything around that. yes, I think that is looking really punchy and cool. I can see Aquascape coming along. As always, I didn't plan this, but I did know I wanted serious stone and something like punchy and in your face. Doesn't get much more punchy than that. What I'm doing is creating height in the aquarium, but also interest as well. It's kind of like it's kind of semi-island and also triangular composition. So I'm going to close these gaps, and I'm going to close that gap at the back as well. And we can have soil behind here so we can plant into it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Sometimes I like to put down little bags of soil and that, but this is a small tank, so I'm just going to pour soil straight in and then have the cosmetic sand in the front sort of overlapping it. And the whole time I'm doing this, look over there. Look. He's just waiting. What a gorgeous fish, especially now he's come to the foreground and we can see him properly, eh? Hello, fella. Good size as well, really good size, Betta. Here he is up against my finger. Oh, there we go, look at that. Big old boy. Not compared to those like king Bettas, obviously, but you know, a good size for a normal breed. Normal? Is he not? Well, he's not normal, he's fancy. I don't know. So I'm going to be using the Tropica Aquasoil because it's awesome and it's all you need. Right, there we go, that's the Aquasoil in. Now it's really good to bank it up at the back like this for several reasons. One, it gives you more depth to the tank. Now when I plant in a minute, the plants will already be of a certain height, so it's going to look great straight away. Whereas if I had only a little bit down on the base, the plants would just be sort of poking up there. I want them right up high, I want them looking vibrant and impactful straight away, so that's what we're going to get. Now I don't want it left like that obviously, so I'm going to fill in these gaps a little bit with some other little stones, and then I can put some sand in the foreground. I really want to keep it completely simple in this foreground as well. I don't want lots of different things. A couple of little hints of some small plants, and then that is it. I'm going for a really contemporary look with this one. It all will be revealed shortly. Yeah, that doesn't look right to me. I'm going to remove that rock and just bring the soil back this way and have it so it's sort of like a curve. Actually, I might need that rock to block off the back and make a sort of dam, if you like. And then I can bring everything this way slightly. So we've just got one section of Aquasoil in the corner there. The rest will be completely clean looking. Okay, hold up. I put in some wood. This was like manzanita or juniper wood. I can't even remember. I got it a long time ago. I chucked some in just to see what it looked like because I was going to put the sand in, and I wasn't really going to go with wood. But that looks awesome, doesn't it? Looks really sort of, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It looks dramatic is what I think is what I'm trying to say. Now, you know, you might be worried about a better fish with these. These aren't sharp at all. They just look spiky, but it's all sort of rounded on all the edges, so I'm not worried about fins getting caught or anything like that on there, so we're all good. I'm just going to put it in the sand now. I was going to take this out and rebuild it again, but what's the point? It's there, like that's what it looks like. It's a few twigs laid at the back. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we've got it coming right out of the water. We've got like loads of interest at the full height of the aquarium. Let's get that sand in. So I want to add about 1 inch of the cosmetic sand. I'm not really going to be planting into this, maybe at the edges, but that's about it. I find that 1 inch gives a really sort of neat border look. I'm using river pebbles for detail. Now I'm placing those close to the main rocks. It just looks a bit more natural this way, and we grade out and get smaller as we go to the edges of the aquarium. Alright, looking good. Now, last job we need to do with the hardscape is, you guys guessed it, stick it together with my favourite that won't focus. There we go, super glue gel. What is Gorilla Super Glue Cyanoacrylate Gel. It's completely inert, fish safe, plant safe. Stick it. Do you know what, guys? I've had time to reflect on the tank, and I think I'm going to go with my original idea. I'm taking these sticks out. Luckily the glue hasn't set. Oh, Oh yeah, the glue hasn't set yet, so it comes out quite easy, look. I just don't think they're actually adding anything to the scape, so out they come. I can always put them back if I do decide, but no, let me put them down, let me pull the light back over to where it needs to be. Yeah, there we go. I mean, I could do something really cool with this and plants alone, trust me. And you know what, guys? That is exactly what this is all about, isn't it? You know, chuck something in, give it a go. 9 times out of 10, you're going to keep looking at it coming back. You know, you're not going to do something else straight away. That means you have to stick with it. Like this, for instance, I've come back to it. I don't like it. So I changed it and now I like it again. It's as simple as that. Try something out. Don't be afraid to try anything out and don't feel you've got to stick with anything either. I mean, I'm filming, so it's a little bit different. But, you know, for you guys, at any moment, change your tanks, do whatever you want. And to be honest with you, that's it. That's all I want to do. Hardscape complete. Doesn't it look really cool with the reflection of the rock? It's like double hardscape. Yeah, so I want the plants to do the scaping in this one. We've got tons of room back there, to be honest. Come over the top, look. Well, it's not tons. It's actually bigger than that. It comes right out to like here and over around there. So I've piled those extra stones in to try and help sort of lock that Aquasaur back a bit further so it doesn't keep coming forwards. I mean, it will eventually make its way forward, but you know, we'll deal with that when it happens. So planting then, what are we going to do for this one? I'm going to go for something a little bit different. No green at all. I'm saying that now. Hopefully that doesn't change. I'm trying my best to stick with no green plants. I'm going to go all red, sort of oranges, yellow, you know, that, no yellow. We don't want any yellow. That means the plant's died. Reds and oranges. Right, now that we've got that all sorted, let's get on with the planting. Now I'm going to start off in this little foreground area. I'm going with reds. I just want reds everywhere. Red, black, white, grey, and then the whiter the better. That's going to look so good, isn't it? I'm going to start off some little tufts of Rotala HR around in these areas here. Right, there's a good little start. I'm just trying to get some plants in at the moment. We can build as we go. I've got the taller rotundifolia in the back, and obviously the little specks of HR dotted about. Now, over in one of my storage tanks out here, look. So this one here, I've spotted this jungle val that's really, really red. I don't know why, but it looks lovely, doesn't it? I'm going to take that out and put that in one corner. Hopefully that'll loop over in time. So we've got quite a few variations of plants there, different shades of reds, that kind of thing. But for the focal point, I'm going for the Rotala macrandra. This plant here is absolutely amazing. I've grown this myself, took a trimming of it, put it in my plant storage tank with just a weight and you know, a bit of filter floss around it. It's got some great roots coming. So I'm just going to put it straight in like that underneath the soil. It's growing so well, why change it? I want it to stay quite compact and together, see, so it's like an actual focal point rather than spread across the background. Oh, there we go. I think that might be enough at the back there. Once we fill it up, it's all going to sort of fill it out a bit more. I think I need a few more little spots of detail around some of these rocks. So I've got a bit more Rotala HR in one of my other tanks. I'm going to take a few clippings and just place them in little areas, just for some focal points, that's all. Okay, we've got a really strong start there. I'm just going to fill it up now with water and see where we're sitting or where we're standing or where the tank is at. And then I'm going to start adding in some more if it's needed. Like some areas might look a bit sort of sparse once we fill it up, but we'll see how it looks. Oh, that is looking so good. Better than I thought it was going to be honest. Now the lighting has been reduced to 50%. Obviously we've got a better fish going in here. They don't like really bright light, so it's not too bad. Look, obviously it might look brighter on the camera because it compensates for low light and that sort of thing. But there's tons of places for the fish to go into if they need to. But next up I want to get some filtration going. Now I had a filter in here before, so it's already sort of cycled, tons of beneficial bacteria inside of it. And whilst I was building this, I stuck it down here in this plant storage tank, and there you go, look, it's just poodling along. So all I've got to do is take that out and swap it over, and we can go straight away with our fish. But the thing is, that flow is probably going to be way too much in my opinion. You can turn it down, but I still think it's going to be too much for a betta fish. We'll have a look and see if it is, but if it is too much, I've got some more filter floss. You can actually just pack out the chamber at the bottom for the media, and that'll just reduce the flow in itself because there's more resistance. So we'll just see, get it in, see how it's going. Right, so obviously that's a used filter, so there's a lot of muck come out as I've turned it back on. We'll give it a 5 or 10 minutes or so, it'll be crystal clear, I can guarantee you, and then we can put our fish straight in. So it has now been 24 hours since I first filled it up, and it is looking so good. Let's take a look. Look at that. It's like there's no water in there at all, but if we come up, it's still flowing. Yeah, the plant's sitting so nicely now. The 24 hours has just really put all of them sort of standing upright and just how you want to see. Look at how good those reds look. My wife isn't a fan of red plants. She thinks it looks like fake. But even she said when it's all red and all the different mixes and tones like this, it looks so good. So maybe I'm going to be doing a lot more of this in my home aquarium. But anyway, we can now put in our fish. This is our betta fish in here, just hiding and waving at us. Let's get the fish in, come on then. Right, now I have got a load of duckweed in this tank, which I don't want to get into the new tank, so I'm going to try and scoop him out. Oh, he's a quick one, he's a quick one. In the corner, there we go. Not quick enough, there we go. Right, so I've got so much duckweed on this one. I'm going to put him into the pot, there we go. I could take off all this duckweed and go from the pot. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, here we go. Oh, come on little fella, in you get. There we go, I've got the betta. Now obviously all the temperatures are matching because I heat the room, and now in he goes. May you enjoy your home. Oh, wow, look at that. He looks insane, doesn't he? He's not even in the light yet. Let's give him a second, he's going to get in the light and look so good. Oh, check that out, look, he's going over. He's exploring. Now, what's really good to see, look, he's not scared at all. Like I say, although on the camera, the light looks a lot brighter than it actually is. Let me just turn it down to what I'm seeing. There we go, that's much more what I'm seeing. Oh, he looks so good, look at that. What a stunning little fish. Oh, with the green, with the red in the background. I'm so used to saying green. Looking so good, such a good colour choice. I'm so glad I went for it because it really does suit the fish, doesn't it? Now, like I say, he's got tons of cover to go inside, and he probably will soon. In a minute, he'll have a little look around, he'll dart in the back there, and he'll get comfortable. It's his tank at the end of the day, but look, this tank is plenty big enough for me to be able to put in like a few other fish as well. He did seem like a very peaceful one when he was in the tank with the other fish. They were all around him and it wasn't bothered at all. So yeah, I think I'll get. What would you put in? What would you put in with him? Guppies is a no-go. Anything with long sort of fins, he might mistake as like competition, so he would fight it. But I mean, cardinals would look great, wouldn't they, with their red and blue pop, and even ember tetras. But what else? Let's think outside the box. It needs to be small because this tank isn't huge. There's my hand, and it needs to be a smaller shoal. Seems to really like this back area here, and that's cool because those back plants will actually grow up to the top and loop right over, and he'll have like a little. It's like his little home, and then it kind of feels like a reef, a bit like where Nemo and his dad were on the sort of edge, and then they can come out into the deep bit. But no, Nemo's not allowed, is he? Look at him showing off to me. Oh, gorgeous, such a nice fish. This is probably one of my favourite bettas I've ever had. I've said it, you're not allowed to say that, are you? But wow, he's just insane. I can't get over those fins. Look at those Dumbo. He definitely is a Dumbo, isn't he? Okay, what's his name? I mean, it's got to be Ghost, isn't it? Hasn't it got to be Ghost? Probably the most common name ever for a betta fish that's this white.